Hey Internet. Well, tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. And we have Simba here with us tonight out in the garage helping. But we've already talked about the cat cycle here, the Honda VT1300. And of course you've already met the Camaro Catmobile. But tonight we're about something a little bit different. Tonight we're going to talk about the Death by Steel 29er SS. Of course, this is a Death Engineering exclusive. The Death by Steel 29er SS, also known, of course, as the cat bike. And Simba's going to make sure that we all know that. It started off originally as a frame-up build from a bike that was purchased from a company called Bikes Direct. Bikes Direct sells are relatively good quality. Some of the specs on the components can be a little bit questionable, but if you get them at a decent price and you're willing to put some time assembling and tuning and maybe even replacing some of the dodgier components, you can wind up with a pretty good bike. And it will go contrasted against the Camaro here. Maybe you can get a better idea. But you can see, this is a Clydesdale. This is a massive bike, and it's not a huge frame. This is a medium, and I think it was like a 17 and a half, maybe an 18-inch frame. But with the geometry and the 29-inch wheels, it makes for pretty massive standover. In the way that I ride this bike currently, as you can see by the tires on it, this currently does not have a roll of a mountain bike anymore. But that's not how it started. This bike originally was purchased as, I guess you could say, fairly hopeful endeavor of trying to ride the trails around here using a nice steel bike with large mountain bike tires. But the roots and the rocks around here are just a little bit too much that perhaps someone with my frame, my own personal body frame, the all rigid suspension just really didn't give me any kind of enjoyable kind of a ride. So the first probably 3 or 4 years, it did have a pretty decent size. I think they were 2.3-inch wide mountain bike tires. Those tires are, don't recall exactly what they were. I think they were also WTB, same as the slicks we have on here now. A single speed is actually fairly appropriate for most of the trails around here, as the hills are pretty mild and there aren't any real places where you need a really tall gear either. So the gearing in this one actually was pretty ideal for the trails around here. But the trails were just unnecessarily bumpy around here. So it sat for probably 3-4 years and didn't get a lot of riding, except the occasional pedal around the neighborhood. And then like COVID days hit, and I started to do these like late night bike rides where I'd go out and do laps around the neighborhood, or I'd explore some of the smaller sub-highways up into the north. At that time, during the early days of COVID, the first year, 2020, there was really nobody out on the roads for hours at a time. At the times that I was going, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 in the morning, I would basically have, 20, 30 miles of highway to myself out in the country. So let's talk a little bit about the bike and how it kind of came to be. As I said, there was originally just basically a steel frame. I did purchase it as a complete bike, but the first thing that happened was taking basically everything back off again, as all I really wanted was the frame, including the decals, of course. Decals came off. So This is a chromoly frame. It's not a nasty, you know, true steel. It's not like high tensile steel. This is at least a chromoly. It doesn't really give any spec on exactly what type of chromoly, so I'm just assuming your generic 4130. From there, the crank was, I think the crank came from Nash Bar. And rear sprocket, the rear sprocket I actually had in stock, so I'm not even sure exactly where that came from. As I said, some of the components that come with some of the bikes direct, a little bit dodgy, but the front wheel wasn't terrible, but the rear wheel that came with it was a solid axle with bolts, so it didn't have a hollow quick release on it, but it was just really not up to running that kind of extremely nasty wheel. Someone's trying to get my attention. You want to say hi? He wants to see if I have food. That's what he wants. And I didn't even have a Presta valve. So, yeah, so the wheels came off. Now, just for fun, we'll show you the wheels that we ran on them originally. I'm not sure exactly what happened if these wheels just weren't made right, but these are Zero Light Vuelta, which they were decent wheels initially, but the bearing just wore really quickly. The wheels we have on now, these were replaced just at the beginning of the COVID days, so I probably could have had those other wheels rebuilt in the shop, but there weren't really shops around doing a lot of work at that time, so I got these wheels from, I think they actually came from Amazon, of all things. But you can see the the bike is set up in the red and black right down to the valve covers. The BB7 brakes. These are the Avid BB7s, and this is well worn, well ridden. The brake pads that were original have been long replaced. These are like a ceramic metal composite. They're nice and quiet. They give me really great braking, and the couple times that I actually do need to grab the brakes, as there are some pretty good descents on the road that I ride. So when I get down at the bottom where there's a stop sign, I need to be able to come to that stop. There's a couple of stores on eBay that I use quite regularly, and this I think came from there. These are extremely grippy. They don't look like they are, but down on the edge here, these serrations, they provide just a massive amount of grip, and I've never had a problem with my feet slipping off of these, even doing pretty aggressive climbs on the road or on trails. You can see the bolts there, trying to keep that red and black kind of color scheme going. The fork, this is a Salsa Cremoto fork. In the theme of in the steel, I went for what I thought was just about the best steel fork that I could find within a reasonable price range to fit, and it was toss-up between this one and Cannondale, but in the end, the Salsa won out. It was a little bit cheaper, and it also had a really cool sticker. I mean, come on, right? And if you've seen my video on the Camaro springs, my opinion on how even though the springs that I put in the back of the Camaro, they're quite a bit harder, lower, you can feel that the spring steel is more supple. It's softer. It's a smoother steel, and that's the advantage of buying a high-end fork like this. The steel here gives you just an amazing feel. It wasn't enough to soak up the roots and rocks on the trails around here, but riding around with this thing up on the front, I get pretty massive amount of confidence, and I hit rocks, I hit acorns, cracks in the pavement, small little wood bits on the road I'm out riding, and even hands-free. This fork just gives me a massive amount of confidence. I've never had a problem with it. Knock on wood. Matching brake levers here. These are the Avid ones with the adjustable rate. I've got these adjusted, I think, to be their maximum speed so that they give you the highest brake as quick as possible, which is pretty handy. For the couple times I need the brakes and those quick descents, I need to be able to pull it as quick as I can. But I also give them a quick tug just before I really need them, just to make sure nothing's happened to them, because these are cable disc brakes, so cables have a way of going their own way sometimes. So maybe one of these days we'll replace them with some hydraulic, but for now these have done a great job, and pretty happy with the setup and the brakes. Don't want to skip out on the handlebar here. The quality of the handlebar is also as important as the quality of the fork. The Easton EA50 and EA70 aluminum fork or aluminum handlebars are, in my opinion, the best handlebars I've ever used. I've used probably 4 or 5 of the Easton types of handlebars in various road and mountain bikes, and always had an amazing ride, and never a moment where I didn't have utmost confidence. You can see some of the custom decals up in the front. The hand grips here help a lot, because I do have kind of gimpy hands from various bike wipeouts and things. So all my bikes have various types of ergonomic grips like that. Well, I think that kind of wraps things up. I do have a couple of, minor mods I want to highlight. It is an all steel bike, so it is massively heavy. So, wherever possible, you got to save weight here, right? Carbon fiber spacers, I'm sure that's making a huge difference. And of course, the carbon fiber water gauge, that's giving me a massive amount of weight savings here. I'm just really excited how much weight I'm saving right here with those two things. Obviously not serious, but I'm going to talk about the lighting too, of course. Can't miss the lighting, because this is a night rider. So let's look at the rear light here first of all. Rear light, single push button to turn on, elastic mount. I use this on several different bikes. I've got 2 of them actually, but currently have this one installed here. It's got a variety of modes. Typical red blinking, solid blue, blue blinking. Oh, what's that mode? Flashing red and blue. I don't know why anyone would use that mode. That's strange. And of course, solid red. That's where you run up most of the time anyway. So that's the rear light. Up front here, this is Magic Shine. No, this is LED. What am I thinking? I just had a quick look. So anyway, this is the battery in the back, and the well-loved strap. It's on its last legs here. Wire running up through the brakes and up to the front light here. And the thing about this Magic Shine light that I never really understood is that it's got a status light here that glows. You can see it's glowing green because it's a fully charged battery. It goes blue and I think like a purplish when it starts to run low, but it's always glowing. And when you're out riding, the last thing you want to be looking at is a light looking at you. So I've taped it up with some monster tape so you can't see it, but let's go ahead and shut down the lights and test it out. These are actually cat bases that the cats come in and play with me in the mornings when I have coffee out here. But back to the video. Oh right, we got the other light on too. So, well, let's power the light on now anyways. And you can see we're on full now. It has a full and a medium, a low. Cycles through those and press to hold, and it goes off. And you can see the insane beam coming off of this thing here, and it does get warm, so it will turn into the lower setting if it runs long enough that it starts to warm up. So that's the Death Engineering Death by Steel 29er SS. I do have one other mod I want to kind of highlight here. This is kind of a special mod. This is something kind of personalized. Of course, I don't recommend this for all cyclists because, you know, I'm just one of those guys that likes to buy the ticket, take the ride. But this is kind of a specialized handlebar plug that has kind of a little storage compartment on it for, you know, emergencies out in the road. Well, thanks for watching, Internet. Hope you enjoyed the coverage today of the Death Engineering Death by Steel 29 RSS. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video here, but I'm going to open up the garage door in a minute after Simba goes inside, and we'll take the light off the bike and kind of have a little look around the neighborhood so you can see what I mean by incredibly bright. Have an awesome night. Oh, hey Internet, here we are. So yeah, we're back outside, and I'm not going to spend too much time out here because it's kind of cold. And I got my magic shine light turned on. You can see it's pretty, oh, it's not that bright? Oh, that's because it's on its lowest setting, which I think lasts for like 12 hours. Let's try this one. There we go. And you can see we're lighting up, you know, trees that are basically in another neighborhood now. And I don't really want to leave the lights on like this for too long because there's a neighbor down there who's kind of doing something. I don't know what he's doing, and he probably doesn't need to see me shining his lights on his house. So yeah, Magic Shine is a heck of a light. Highly recommend it. Well, we've got the lights back on, and it looks like Simba's ready to go in for a snack. Thanks a lot for watching, Internet. It's time to actually do the work that brought the bike up into the bike stand here in the first place. You know, it does have a fair number of miles on it, and this chain is stretched a bit, and I think I might be able to squeeze another maybe 1.5 millimeters out of this chain tensioner here before I have to actually go ahead and pop a link or replace the chain.